Hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about solving equations, and we've done one step and two step, and now we're going to do multiple steps, so more than two steps. And we're also going to talk about distribution. So I want to first talk about the distributive property or distribution. It's really just multiplication. Whenever we have a number next to parentheses, that means to multiply. And then we have more than one thing here that we have to multiply this 6 by. We need to multiply this 6 by the 1, and we need to multiply this 6 by the 3k. Whenever we don't have a sign like a plus or a minus in front of a number, we call it a plus. And then if we do have this plus, that means that this 3k is positive. So I'm going to have positive 6 times positive 1 and positive 6 times 3k. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 3k, we just multiply the numbers together to get 18k. And since that's a positive answer, we put a plus sign in between, so we end up with 6 plus 18k. So that's how we take this right here, where we have parentheses, and turn it into something without parentheses using distribution. So let's see what that looks like when we're solving an equation. So here we want to solve for k. Notice we have a k on both sides of the equation, and we have these parentheses. So I want to deal with this parentheses first. So I'm going to write everything that I have that's not changing. So this whole side's not changing, so I rewrite it. I have my equal sign, and then I do my distributing, just like I did on the last page. 6 times 1 and 6 times 3k. And we know from the last page that 6 times 1 is 1, and 6 times 3k is 18k. Since this is positive, we put a plus sign. And now we can start solving for k. What I like to do is I move all the numbers without letters to one side and all the numbers with letters to the other side. Whenever you move something to the other side of the equal sign, it changes its sign. So I want to move this minus 6k onto this side of the equal sign, and I want to move this 6 to the other side. So this minus 6k is going to turn positive. This 6 is going to turn negative. So you can see that when I move this 6 to the other side, it became minus 6. When I move this 6k minus 6k to the other side, it became plus 6k. So now we can put these two together. Minus 18 minus 6 is negative 24. 18k and 6k makes 24k. And now I have a one-step equation. I just have to divide both sides by 24. And I get k to be negative 1. Let's try another one. So we're going to take care of the distribution first. So I have these parentheses here. So I need to do that multiplication. Everything else that I'm not doing anything to, I'm going to keep rewriting. Don't lose track of it. I'm multiplying negative 2 times 1 and negative 2 times negative 7. This negative and this negative gives us a positive answer, so I'm going to end up with a plus sign right here, because negative 2 times negative 7 is 14n. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2, so that stays negative 2. And now I want to move, I'm going to move my 5n to the other side, so it's going to become negative. And I want to move this negative 2 to the other side, so it's going to become positive. You'll see that right here. Notice the red numbers are the ones that I moved to the other side of the equal sign. Now I can just combine 34 and 2 makes 36. 14n minus 5n is 9n. I can just subtract the numbers, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 9. These 9s, remember, they make 1. We don't have to write the 1 in front of n. And 36 divided by 9 is 4. Let's do another one. I have that parentheses, so I have to do distribution. I'm going to keep rewriting everything that I'm not changing. I have negative 8 times positive 6 and negative 8 times positive 5. Negative 8 and 6 makes negative 48. And negative 8 and 5 makes negative 40. So I'm going to have a minus sign here in my equation because negative 8 and 5 is a negative answer. And so now I'm going to start moving some things so I can solve. I'm going to move my 3n to the other side. It becomes negative 3n. And I'll move my negative 48 to the other side to get positive 48. And again, I did that in red so you can see how the signs change when they switch sides of the equal sign. Negative 5 and positive 48 make positive 43. Negative 40n and negative 3n, I can just put the numbers together to get negative 43n. And now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 43. Those make 1, and I get n. 43 divided by negative 43 is negative 1. I have one more to try. Parentheses is on the other side, but that's okay. We do the same thing. And then we have this extra piece that's not inside the parentheses, so we don't multiply it by 2. We just multiply the stuff inside the parentheses. So 2 times 4x and 2 times negative 3. And that negative 8 stays. We haven't done anything to it. This all stays. We haven't done anything to it. 2 times 4x is 8x. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, so we get this negative here. And I'm going to go ahead and move my 8x to this side to get negative 8x. I'll move my 4 over here, and I'll get negative 4. I showed you that in red. Everything else stayed where it was, and the sign stayed the same. I can put all these negative 6, negative 8, negative 4 together to get negative 18. 2x minus 8x, I just subtract 2 minus 8 and get negative 6x. Now I need to divide both sides by negative 6. Negative 6 divided by negative 6 is 1, so I get x. And negative 18 divided by negative 6 is positive 3. That's it for today. Make sure that if you have any questions that you ask your teacher for help.